So this is
When a hyper-aggressive
SCP explained. SCP Elite Mobile Task Force explained. And
When a hyper-aggressive lizard or an evil living cow heart starts rampaging through your town, or a sinister salesman turns up in your home, who are you gonna call? Hint, it's not the Ghostbusters. The answer is the SCP Foundation's Mobile Task Force. You probably heard them mentioned in every single video on this channel, but what exactly is a Mobile Task Force? What do they do for the SCP Foundation? And what are some of the most famous Mobile Task Forces in the field? Let's crack open the files and take a look. In short, Mobile Task Forces are the Foundation's elite personnel.
job. They're there to be jobbers to show off how cool the SCP in question is. They're the power scale, you know. You need to show off how cool and dangerous the SCP you wrote is. So, you know, you got to show how many mobile task force members your SCP can take out in like 5 seconds. So, you know, that's why they exist, you know.
And each task force is generally made up of highly trained Foundation operatives with specific skill sets. These MTFs aren't rooted in any one base and are relocated to wherever they're...
I thought D-Class was for that. No, not really. D-Class are just like experiments. Like they're beyond fodder. Like D-Class are completely helpless. Like beating up the... Like... MTF are like Worf from Star Trek. Like Worf in Star Trek is like supposed to be a credible, like strong warrior, but all he does the entire show is get beat up all the time. But he's said to be a strong warrior so that whoever beats him up gets to look intimidating because it's like, oh shit, he beat up Worf. But because Worf is constantly getting beat up to make other people look strong, it kind of, you know, in a meta sense, you know, it negates the whole point of Worf being made to, you know, it's a contradiction, right? It's like, in universe, Worf is supposed to be a big tough guy, but in the show, in actuality, all he does is get his ass whipped because you want your bad guy to look cool, so you have him beat up the crew's tough guy, right? It's like a perpetuating cycle kind of thing. MTF or power level 1, D-Class or power level 0. Yeah, well, it's like in Dragon Ball Z. It's like a bad guy isn't impressive if he can beat up, like, if he can slaughter random civilians. But, you know, if he goes in and, like, one-shots Yamcha, that's a little more impressive. You can at least establish a baseline of, like, okay, he effortlessly kills Yamcha. He, like, whips the shit out of Krillin. That's at least establishing that he has a power level, right? But, like, wiping out a bunch of, like, powerless civilians means literally nothing. Whereas, you know, beating up the weak guys at least establishes, or like the villain beating up Vegeta. You know the villain is gonna beat up Vegeta because it's Vegeta. Vegeta's never gonna win. But but Vegeta is established to be a strong guy. That's what the MTF are, you know. They're super trained, highly specialized elite task force. But they're always gonna die, right? They're there so that, like, the SCP looks super dangerous when it, like, rips through an entire squad and they're like, what? Oh my god! How could it tear through an entire squad of MTF operatives? It's unstoppable.
Required. hence the mobile part of the name. The exact parameters on what an MTF can be is pretty flexible. The size of their units can vary from whole battalions of troops packing heavy artillery to small, tight-knit groups of intelligence-gathering spies. Some mobile task forces are bound to specific SCPs, whereas others perform more generalized tasks, such as securing certain facilities or territories. When the regular rank-and-file Foundation field agents can't do the job, the MTFs are brought in to pick up the pieces. Each group is controlled by a mobile task force commander, who reports to the Foundation Director of Task Forces, though the actual organizational structure of each group varies. Sometimes MTFs, which were created for extremely specific purposes, are disbanded after that purpose is achieved. How many mobile task forces are there exactly? The exact number is shrouded in secrecy, and oftentimes the answer will depend on who you ask. But you're not here for what we don't know.
Why would we tell you that? The wiki needs to be perpetual.
The Foundation's employ, and we intend to deliver. Much like our video on the proposals for SCP-001, we're going to give you a rapid-fire crash course on some of the most prominent and interesting Foundation task forces. And remember, if you want us to go more in-depth into the most exciting missions of any of these groups, let us know in the comments. But for now, it's time for a rundown of the Foundation's best of the best. MTF Alpha-1, aka Red Right Hand, are essentially the Black Ops of the SCP Foundation. They report directly to the O5 Council and conduct missions at the highest level of secrecy, with most of the information hidden behind a Level 5 clearance wall. Many also believe Alpha-1 to have links to the infamous Chaos Insurgency, a splinter group at war with the Foundation. But if anyone asks, you didn't hear it from us. Seriously, we don't want to get assassinated. MTF Alpha-4, aka Pony Express, are a covert group deeply embedded into the world's logistics and postal services. The trafficking of anomalous objects is a worldwide issue, and it's up to Alpha-4 to intercept and keep a lid on those anomalous objects before they fall into the wrong hands. Think of them as a better-funded paranormal USPS police division. One object they've prevented from reaching the public is SCP-3060, a series of CPAP machines that cause nighttime visions of frightening entities. MTF Omega-7, aka Pandora's Box, was an experimental task force which incorporated the use of highly combat-effective SCPs, including SCP-076, better known as Abel. The test showed initial success, but after they ran out of missions, Abel's bloodlust proved to be too great for the team to control, and the experiment as well as the task force were scrapped. However, this led to the creation of MTF Alpha.
Wait, they tried to form their own SCP Avengers? You fucking... Are we taking this seriously or not? The motherfucker... Is the council sitting around reading comic books one day, bored out of their minds, being like, hey, anyone see that new movie that came out? I have an idea. And they're just like, Jimmy... You're crazy, but you just might be crazy enough. Absurd. It's definitely something the council would do. You know what? You know what? It's... It is literally like, what are we, some kind of SCP squad?
9, aka Last Hope. This is a mobile task force designed to train viable SCPs.
What are we, some kind of secure protect squad?
To provide services to the Foundation out in the field. This group has learned the lessons of its predecessor and has employed the use of more measured and reasonable anomalies. Those include SCP-073 or Cain, the much more even-tempered brother of Abel. MTF Beta-7, aka the Maz Hatters, are the elite cleanup crew for anomalous biohazards, chemical spills, and radiological disasters. So if an area suddenly looks like it's going to become Chernobyl's scarier sequel, or an anomalous fast-spreading disease is wreaking havoc over a wide area, the Maz Hatters are the guys to call. They worked closely on the containment of SCP-1280, a kind of parasitic nematode worm that often injects false memories into their victims. MTF Gamma-5, aka Red Herrings, are the Foundation's chief disinformation division. They prevent the leaks of classified info.
Wait, are you saying that behind it all along, it was Red Herring? Aw, think again, Fred. A pup named Scooby-Doo, Dooby-Doo.
to the public, and on the rare occasions that this information does somehow get out, they're in charge of burying it and administering necessary amnestic treatment to those affected. It's a thankless job, but you won't remember they did it either way. They gave amnestic treatment to the traumatized victims of SCP-1618, a malevolent urinal which replaced the user's valuables with disgusting alternatives, from toilet paper to pig intestines. NTF Gamma-6, aka Deep Feeders, investigate and track deep-sea or oceanic anomalies, a job that commands the ultimate respect from people with thalassophobia. That's the fear of the deep ocean. If something terrifying and mysterious is stirring down there in the abyss, you better believe Gamma-6 are going to be the first ones down. They keep a close eye on a number of anomalies such as SCP-1264, an underwater amalgamation of sunken ships eager to drag down more vessels and add them to its mass. MTF Gamma-13, aka Asimov's Lawbringers, are a specialized task force devoted to investigating, tracking, and apprehending anomalies originating from Anderson Robotics, a group of interest that produces anomalous robots and machines. This includes examples of SCP-2806, a number of advanced anomalous prosthetic body parts that wish to attach themselves to a lacking host, whether they want it or not. NTF Delta-5, aka Frontrunners, are a large group of autonomous deep cover agents buried in various groups of interest across the globe. It's their job to gather intelligence from within to aid in the apprehension of anomalies before these groups can get their hands on them. They also sometimes make use of anomalies to track down others, such as when they requested to use SCP-185, a Russian R-105M radio used during the Cold War that can receive signals from any time period, including encrypted ones, but can also emit sound waves so powerful they can literally kill you. MTF Epsilon 9, aka Fire Eaters, are the Foundation's resident pyromaniacs. They're the ones sent into missions involving extremely high temperature.
Why are they called the Fire Eaters? Well, you see, Charlie, they like the fire. Oh, I see. Very creative. I have to say, some of the squad names a little goofy. Like, it's a very specific, not complaint, because it is what it is, right? It's more than okay to have some over the topness in this kind of series, right? That's very goofy. But like for like a military branch, it always feels weird to have like kind of nerdy names for these things, because you got to think that these are like the jocks of the operation, right? So when you have something like Asimov's peacekeepers or whatnot, ain't none of the fucking soldiers, dude bro soldiers in that fucking unit calling themselves Asimov's fucking peacekeepers or whatever the fuck that shit is. Like, the front runners, like, something, like, short and simple, like, these fucking people, like, you know, these types of guys, like, have simple-ass, like, laconic names, you know, like, shit like that. To be fair, it's all basically fanfic. Exactly, you know, it's all community-written stuff. But, like, I just always find it very funny when you'll have something like Delta Squad, Front Runners, Gamma Squad, and then like a name that's like a full fucking sentence, and then I just imagine them trying to like in the field call out that name like in duress, be like, imagine you're like, where are they?
Asimov's
Lawbreakers. Or it's like, oh my god, Asimov's Lawbreakers! Asimov's Lawbreakers! Where are you? Your comms are down! We don't have a visual! Asimov's Lawbreakers! Asimov's Lawbreakers! Like, it's a, you know, I would know. It's a fucking mouthful, and I would know about mouthfuls.
purpose. They deal with musical or auditory Foundation's resident pyromaniacs. They're the ones sent into missions involving extremely high temperature environments, and they're also highly skilled in the use of powerful incendiary weapons. If the Foundation needs to burn or avoid getting burned, the Fire Eaters are the ones for the job. Their vital skills assisted in containing SCP-165, massive colonies of carnivorous parasitic mites that eat prey to the bone. MTF Epsilon 11, Nine-Tailed Fox are another one of the most—
Fuck you! Fuck you! I am not— You bet. If I'm in trouble, if a fucking SCP is chasing me down or about to destroy my town, you better not send the fucking Naruto fans to save me. Do not put my life in their hands. I don't want the fucking ninja weebs. I do not want the ninja weebs to come in and save me. They're gonna come down, they're gonna have their arms behind their backs, Naruto running out into the field, and just get their fucking shit obliterated instantly. Like, the monster's gonna turn around, one hand swipe, half the squad's gonna be dead in 10 seconds. This is not— they're not getting it done. MTF Epsilon 11. Also, we were talking about, like, oh, they're probably using their unit names instead of the long, nicknames. Neither of these are good. MTF Epsilon 11, Nine-Tailed Fox, both of these are too long. Both of these, and either one of these you're using, there's no way around it. Oh, get these guys out of here. Decommission this team. Fucking spread them out. Fucking cancel this unit. Fucking split them up among the other groups. Do what you gotta do. I am not sending Nine-Tailed Fox out into the field.
Classified mobile task forces existing only under the oversight of the Red Right Hand. They work internally and are only dispatched to Foundation sites when standard protocols fail and multiple breaches are imminent. They were brought in to deal with the SCP-2139 incident, a strange psychological phenomenon that inexplicably increased the suggestibility of Foundation staff at Site-35. This made the infected staff agree with everything they heard. MTF Zeta-9, Mole Rats, are a task force that specializes in the exploration and containment of anomalous areas that are either enclosed or underground, particularly if, due to the effects of the anomaly, the space-time fabric of the area is unstable. You may remember them from our series on SCP-1730, the mission into and out of the anomalous Site-13. MTF Eta-10, aka See No Evil, are a team that specializes in taking on dangerous memes and cognito-hazards that affect the victims through visual contact.
Boss, these are you people? No, I do not claim them. I do not claim these people.
One example is SCP-1561, a crown that, when worn, causes all those who see the person wearing the crown to imagine the wearer as their king and immediately adopt positions of servitude. While MTF Eta-10, aka Savage Beasts, serve the opposite purpose. They deal with musical or auditory anomalies and any cognito-hazards that work through the medium of sound, like SCP-2402, a chord progression which can regenerate old or dying cells. MTF Theta-4, aka Gardeners, are a crack team of agents who face off against any botanical or plant-like anomalies. Their skills were put to use against SCP-1147, a collection of plum tree seeds which can grow out of literally any substance, even ones that—
Now, what do you mean by your people? Yeah, Piro, what do you mean, weebs?
They're totally inorganic. MTF Theta-90, aka Angle Grinders, are a team that specialize in two of the most frightening things out there: anomalies and math. These brainiacs deal with anomalous mathematical issues, like warped topologies and geometries. Even listing an example of the kind of anomalies they deal with here will make your head hurt. So just be thankful they're out there. MTF Iota-10, or Damn Feds, are a huge network of undercover agents based in federal and local law enforcement agencies across the globe. They intercept any anomalous objects, beings, or information and make sure that it makes its way out of police evidence lockers and into Foundation hands without incident. MTF Kappa-10, or Skynet, is a temporary team of combined meat space and virtual agents tracking down and disrupting
Whoops. Skynet? Skynet? Really? Really? Fruits? Fruits? Is this your king? Is this your franchise? Is this your is this who we're backing? Is this um is this the set we're repping? Uh literal. I love this idea cuz here's the thing. It's not real, right? But you have to understand the concept that within the world, right? Within the setting of SCP, there are two realities here, right? There's reality one that within the fictional setting of SCP that is a parallel to ours. The movie Terminator does not exist, and this group just so happens to be called Skynet, which, whatever. Or, Terminator does exist, and they just decided to name their fucking attack squad after Skynet, and presumably they go after like AI stuff, which is just tempting fate. It's Is this your king? Is this your king? Burn it to the ground. We are being like run by surely. Does the C in SCP stand for circus? 'Cause it's run by clowns.
Hands without incident. MTF Kappa 10, or Skynet, is a temporary team of combined meat space and virtual agents tracking down and disrupting anomalous cyber threats, such as SCP-2987, an external hard drive basically capable of turning artificial intelligences into living souls for trades with soul-consuming anomalies. MTF Lambda 5, aka White
What does
Rabbits,
that
are a group
mean?
that specializes in combating reality warpers of all types, whether they're messing with space-time or exhibiting godlike powers. Some anomalies even respond directly to them, like SCP-2446, a phenomenon where corpses often identical to living White Rabbits team members suddenly manifest around San Jose, California. MTF Lambda 12, Pest Control, are a group of agents who exclusively go after anomalous vermin. Incidentally, they're one of the only MTFs who've never lost members in the line of duty. Their purview includes SCP-2810, an anomalous pathogen that causes the victim's cells to become tiny versions of their own species, like a human cells becoming cell-sized humans. MTF Lambda 14, one-star reviewers, are a task force that deal with retail-oriented anomalies. Their main focus has become combating a sinister group of interest known as the Ambrose Restaurant, a chain of extra-dimensional restaurants with strange and anomalous food and service.
Do they have to deal with the IKEA?
AKA Highest Bidders is a mobile task force devoted to preventing the group of interest, Marshall, Carter, and Dark Limited, from disseminating dangerous anomalous objects and then obtaining and containing these objects. One such object is SCP-2818, a number of 50 cal sniper rifles that, when fired, turns the shooter into a bullet and fires them. MTF Move 4, aka Debuggers, are particularly useful in the modern age as they track and contain anomalous electronics and technology, including isolating and containing anomalous websites and software. One of the anomalies dealt with by the Debuggers is SCP-896, an online role-playing game that improves the physical and mental attributes of the player when they name their character after themselves. Remember when we said you didn't need to
Oh wait, that's awesome. Wait. No, don't. Okay, now you're just being an asshole. There is no reason not to let us have that. See, government won't let you have shit. That's on the level of just, that's literally free healthcare at that point, right? Being able to like boost your physical health and everything just by playing a video game. that would cost us nothing because it's an anomaly. Like there's no one's paying to run those servers. They're magic. Release that right now. We could probably like cure all the world's disease. You know, uranium was a SCP, right? I don't know jack shit. I haven't fucking read this website since I was in high school. I love how Kay has been on a roller coaster. You know, like, fuck it. Give me the SCP video game that gives me, like, you fuckers, I would burn down this building just for, like, denying the world the video game that boosts your stats for real. Like, that's the equivalent of, like, discovering the cure to cancer and then just locking it away on a whim. Like, fuck you. Actually, how dare you?
All the Ghostbusters? Well, that wasn't entirely true. Sometimes you need to get MTF Mu-13, aka Ghostbusters, on the line.
Okay,
Since
fuck
they're an
you.
MTF whose specialty is tracking intangible or incorporeal anomalies, particularly those considered sapient or
They also
sentient.
have that.
And they're
Yeah,
on call
fuck.
24 hours a day to serve all your supernatural containment needs, like when you're plagued by SCP-1036, which are a number of haunted Congolese fetish dolls. MTF
Yeah.
New 7, aka Hammer Down, are the ones you need to call when you need real heavy-duty work. They're a huge force with a massive stock of army vehicles and heavy weaponry, and are only called in for truly catastrophic events. They're also assisted in the containment of SCP-939, the voice-imitating, amnestic-producing red monsters. MTF Epsilon 6, aka Village Idiots, are a group of agents whose specialty is
Okay, Village Idiots is good. See, Village Idiots is an actual name that like a group of military guys would give themselves. Like that's actually something that like that's the kind of like stupid like gallows humor type shit that a bunch of military guys would like come up with themselves. Like it's it's simple, it's short, it's self-depreciating. Like that fits. That feels natural. I'd be down to rock out in the Village Idiots too. Exactly. Like that's good. I like that one. I like the Village Idiots. Just for the name alone. And also he's got the piece of wheat and everything. You think that they give it to themselves? Don't tell Kay there are like 4 cures to cancer. Yeah, I imagine there are plenty of SCPs that can be used for like healing shit, right? And I imagine, of course, they use it on themselves to, you know, they get to, you know, they get the healing juice, but not anybody else.
investigating and containing anomalous phenomena that occur in rural or suburban areas. If you live in a small town and you're on the run from a vicious monster, you better hope the Village Idiots are on their way. They've contained SCP-2561.
Yeah, please send the Village Idiots. Do not send the Nine-tailed foxes.
MTF Pi 1, aka City Slickers, are pretty much the exact opposite of the Village Idiots.
Yeah,
they pursue
the City
anomalies in
Slickers.
densely populated urban areas, particularly in the New
See,
York
I like these
metropolitan
two
area.
squads.
They assisted in the ongoing containment of SCP-1155, the incredibly bloodthirsty predatory street art. MTF Sigma 66, aka 16 Tons, are basically the Foundation's own version of the Suicide Squad. They're a team made from captured members of other groups of interest who aren't particularly loyal to the Foundation, but whose very particular set of skills make up for that fact. MTF Tau 5,
Sigma
aka
60.
Samsara,
Okay,
another
I like
group you might remember.
See, okay, that's also really cool. Sigma 66, 16 tons. I like that. That's a cool name. That's a cool concept, having it be like Suicide Squad style. And when you hear Suicide Squad style, you jump to thinking it's gonna be D class, but having it be made up of other enemy organizations is actually really cool. If it can be explained by modern science, they release it over time. Oh, I see.
predatory street art. MTF Sigma 66, aka 16 tons, are basically the foundation, but whose very particular set of skills make up for that fact. MTF Tau 5, aka Samsara, are another group you might remember from the events of SCP-1730. These are a group unlike any other, immortal cyborgs made from the flesh of a dead god, who can be upgraded as needed. They're equipped with experimental and state-of-the-art Foundation technology to take on thaumaturgic, magical, and psionic threats. MTF Psi-7, aka Home Improvement, is a team specializing in structural anomalies. In plain speak, they deal with anomalous activities concerning buildings, containing, and sometimes even demolishing when necessary, with a variety of heavy artillery. For example, they counteract the nightmarish SCP-3050, a building in North Carolina that once a year fuses all living matter inside its own...
They come from North Carolina. Sorry, that was a reference for no one.
Structure on an atomic level. MTF Psi-8, aka the Silencers, are a team devoted to containing reanimation anomalies and those who've been affected by them. If you've just come back from the dead, then the Silencers are going to want to know your location. MTF Omega-Zero, aka Ara Orun, are another highly classified mobile task force that's actually the memories of deceased Foundation personnel preserved on the Foundation intranet system. Their job is to protect their surviving co-workers against informational threats on the servers. They also contain SCP-3664,
their fucking
a
computer
damaged but highly
goes?
advanced assault
That's
rifle existing in the
crazy.
non-physical conceptual space. It can only be interacted with by thinking about interacting with it. And last but not least, MTF Omega-12, aka Achilles' Heel, is an anomalous task force, and these powerful reality warpers from another dimension hunt down dangerous and powerful reality warpers in ours. You can thank these guys for every single day that our reality continues on as normal, or whatever normal means now. They're enemies of SCP-3155, members of the iconic Pinkerton Detective Agency with anomalous abilities relating to combat. Alright, we did it! Of course, even this is only a sample of the vast number of mobile task forces at the Foundation's disposal who put their lives at risk every day to keep humanity, normality, and reality intact. They seem to have a task force perfectly tailored to every threat we could possibly encounter, and as new threats are cataloged, more mobile task forces are sure to arise to meet them. Want more in-depth explorations of any of these groups and their epic missions? Let us know in the comments below. Now go check out SCP-1730 Epic Battle at Site-13.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. There's some I exaggerate, but no, those are very fun. A nice little overview of their various task forces. Although honestly, here's the thing. It's a good thing to have this kind of thing set up in the setting. Personally, I've never particularly cared about this kind of detail. For me, the interesting thing about SCP has just been like the idea that you are just reading through archives and like about the SCPs themselves and keeping the actual foundation as like vague and shadowy as possible has kind of like, that's how I've always preferred it. Like, I don't think you really need to get this deep into the weeds on like individual like units and like individual like sub factions within the SCP Foundation. Like, I think it's like you can have like a story of like, we sent agents to recover this SCP. We sent a task force, and I think that's genuinely as deep as it ever needs to go. Because I don't really care about those details. I care about, like, what does the freaky monster or the weird object do? I don't necessarily care about, what the humans are doing in this setting. It's almost like Godzilla, right? any Godzilla movie that is focusing on like the human storyline, unless it's a really good human storyline, something like maybe Shin Godzilla, it's probably shit. It's probably not very good. Um, you know, I want to see the big monsters fighting. Similar idea here. I want to see I want to read about the spooky objects and what they do. Not necessarily uh care about the intricacies of like what the different um intergroups of the SCP Foundation are and how they intermingle. Hey, the ghost in the machine is apparently literal here. Ah, yes, West Korea and an emotion just gone. Fuck the pinks, you see how Wizards sent them after a potential leaker? It's crazy to me that they literally just still exist today. And, like, that's just okay, right? Like, no one has gone after them in any significant way, right? Like no one has tried to like disband them or like because they're documented as like killing people, right? They're like an infamously evil organization objectively. Like should we not do something about them? Should we not like try to get rid of them? Like, why are we allowing the Pinkertons to still exist as an organization? It feels like, I don't know, it feels like we're, like, still allowing Cobra Command to exist. I mean, and granted, that's a naive sentiment because we allow, like, hundreds of thousands of evil organizations to exist today. Like we still buy chocolate from Nestle every single day. But like, the Pinkertons are like, just so on the nose. And it feels like such an old timey organization too, right? Like you think of like literally like 1920s shit when you hear of the Pinkertons. And then every once in a while you hear about like a modern story where someone calls the Pinkertons. You're like, what? Has nobody just rounded up the Pinkertons and taken them out yet? Why are they still a thing? Why do they still act in this world? Like, what is going on? Why have they not been disbanded? Why has there not been any kind of legislation that says like groups like these are not allowed? Why, this is crazy. Like you are, I don't know, it's absurd. Like, and I know the reason why, right? I get it. Like, the reason why is because the world is corrupt, and obviously, the same world that like employs the Pinkertons in the first place is the world that allows the Pinkertons to still exist. It's actually quite simple why the Pinkertons are still around. Like, it's not, yes, obviously, but it's just really weird and like fucked up. It feels like they should just be illegal from a concept. Exactly. And it's like the fact that everybody is so like befuddled every time they come up makes it feel like we had like banned them, right? Cuz everybody is so confused every time it comes up that they're still around. Doesn't it feel like we've outlawed them, right? Because every time the Pinkertons come up, everybody looks around and goes, wait, the Pinkertons still exist? Didn't we get rid of them? Like, what? Fun fact, apparently my partner's great-grandparents were a mob where they live. So it was so much so that a bartender stopped talking to them after learning their last name. Oh. Hmm. The answer is mostly the government hates unions. Yeah, exactly. Great-great-grandparents. Oh. Yeah, it's kind of like PMCs. The very idea feels illegal. Yeah. It, it's and like PMCs like operate like outside of the country. So I mean that's they can get away with that, but like Pinkertons are like domestic, right? It's like, so weird. But there's a nice little wish fulfillment there of like having an entire SCP organization dedicated solely to just beating the Pinkertons up. I like that. I stan that. I stan a Pinkerton punching king. And that's the video, everyone. If you've made it this far, remember to like, comment, subscribe, notify, share, engage, and hey, maybe even drop by the stream sometime if you want to catch me yapping live and unedited. And until next we meet, my fruits and nigglets, peace, love, we outcha.